And it's good to see if you can actually get to the correct answer. All right. So I'm going to do them still on the whiteboard. All right. So again, whenever I start with my questions, I always start with what the question's asking me. And since this question is asking me how much heparin I'm going to administer, I know that this is a desired over half. Okay. My desired dose is 4,200. And I have 5,000 per ml. Was it 42 even?
Yeah, 4,200.
Okay. These are both units. Okay, this is units per hour. I do shortcut math, by the way. And this is 5,000 units also. Okay, so this is going to cross out, this is going to cross out, and then you're left with mLs per hour. So now you just have to do the math. And really, it's just 42 divided by 50, right? Because even if you wanted to, you can get rid of that. Because there's an equal number on the top and the bottom. Again, the more simple you make the math, the easier it's going to be for you to do. And that should have gave you 0.84. Right now, this is in the nearest 100th because this is the 100th place. If there was a 0 here, that would be the 1,000th. And this is the 10th. Okay, most of the time with these, we round it to the nearest 10th. This 4 is going to dictate that. So what would that number be if you were rounding it to the nearest 10th?
8.
0.8. Okay? Any questions on that?
Oh.
Make sure I'm still recording. All right, let's look at number 2. Again, this question says, and I always read it from here, how much medication will the nurse prepare to administer the correct dose? Right away, that tells me this is desired over half. Okay, so I'm going to go in the question and I'm going to find my desired dose and I'm going to find what I have on hand. So right away, I can see my desired dose here is 400,000 units. What do I have on hand?
300,000.
Yep, 300,000 per 0.5 ml.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just the math. Now here, I would just get rid of these. If there's an equal number, get rid of them. Make it easy. We already know 3 will go into 4 one time, and there's going to be some change left. So your answer here should be 1 point something. And then you're going to multiply it times your 0.5. Leave everything in the calculator. Everything. Okay, this is 0.666. This is going to dictate this. So if you round it to the nearest 10th, it's going to be 0.7. Any questions on that?
No.
That's wrong. That's 0.8 ml rounded. That's wrong. This is answer is 0.7. I don't know why that's there, but wrong. Fix that. Okay, we'll fix it later. You want to be stubborn. All right, so you probably won't see this on Jerry, but you will see it on Med Search. But you should still know it if you're a Jerry student. All right, so everybody can see how many units of insulin's in that needle?
Is it 30?
Yes. Can you give insulin with the TB syringe?
No.
Yes, you can. Can you give it with an IM?
No.
No, we would give it more than likely if we're going to give insulin that way, we need to give it in a vein. We're going to use regular insulin and likely give it IV and dilute it more than likely, okay? All right. Next one. So anytime you're doing a drop factor, what is your formula? Come on, don't everybody shout it
Volume.
out at once.
Volume
Volume
over
over
time times the drip factor.
Okay, and I want you to add one more thing to there. Always a whole number. Okay? Because no one should ever have to tell you that. That's a given. So it's your total volume over your total time in minutes times your drop factor. Always a whole number. What's our total volume here?
3,000.
Okay, it's always going to be in liters or milliliters. So you have 3,000 mLs. What is your drip factor?
Is it
Say
one?
it.
60.
I heard
60.
somebody
Where is
say
it
it.
at?
Say it.
Oh,
It's
oh,
60.
micro drip 60.
60.
It's 60 for micro or PD drip. Okay, and then your drops. I mean your time is what?
48.
280,
It's a 48 hours, but what is it in minutes?
2,880.
Okay, 2,880 minutes. Okay, so that's how it should be set up. So what's our answer?
63.
Okay, 63. Do the next one.
Thirty-one.
I hear somebody saying it in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and put it up here.
$500 divided by 240 times 15.
What's your answer?
31.
31. Questions on that?
Wait, can you go back to the problem again?
Read, so make sure you're reading them because they're set up to make you read.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Okay? They're critical thinking math questions. Let me just make this a little bit smaller. So here, you just have to read the question and then look at the step.
0. Oh,
So
1.
you give 0,
No, 0.
0 units.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Well,
So you give 12 units.
Okay, not really that hard, guys. This is INO, so one thing you have to know here is that your ice chips is equal to half. So if you have 2 cups, you're only going to calculate 1 cup.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, I think I made a mistake on one of the questions because I wrote a 12-hour shift from 7 to 7, but I had something come in that was at a wrong time that was past that. So I think it was this 4 ounces of tea here, maybe I might have added. That shouldn't have been added in. So I got to look at that answer to see what I got there, but I'll fix that if that's the case. So those are the things that you're looking at. Make sure that there's nothing on there. Also, if you have IV fluids, you have to calculate the total number of hours that it's running for.
So, Miss Lois, the 1 ice, are you gonna multiply it by 30? 1 cup of ice, are you gonna multiply it by 30?
Well, 1 cup of ice is equal to how many mLs?
240.
Right. So if you were looking at the 1 cup as 8 ounces, then yes, you would multiply by 30, but I don't look at it that way. I just look at it as 240 mLs.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong way there, Ernest. Okay, what works for your brain? What I do is I take all the ounces and add them together first.
2160.
Phoebe has both.
Okay, so that this here wouldn't be added in here because that's at 2000, which should be 8 p.m., right? That's past our time, so that shouldn't be calculated in.
Yeah.
I may have put it in on the answer by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 1940 there. Did anybody else get something different?
No. Take out that.
Is that what you guys got? 1940?
I got 2160. I just added it.
Yeah, well, you don't add that 8 ounces in for that last tea. That's why I'm saying, because that was at 8 o'clock. See, this here was at 8 o'clock.
Mm.
No, I didn't even
That's
add
why
that
we
in.
had it in.
I didn't either.
I didn't add that in, but I didn't get what you got 1940. Can you go back up to the top, please?
Okay, so
Yeah,
let me go
maybe I
back
missed
through it because
something.
sometimes I gotta do the math a couple times with these, just like you guys do.
Because I got for that a total of, so just that top portion, I got 1,020, and then when I added in the medications, I got 2,040.
No, I didn't get that either.
So let me see what I do.
All right, let me go.
T.
88, and then 480.
All right, let's just put it over here and add it up. How about we do that? All right, so we got 240.
I keep getting 1840.
And then 10 times 30 is 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another 8, which is another 240.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We have another 8, which is another 240.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 cup of the ice is going to be another 240.
240.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have 50 times 4, which is 200.
100.
Oh, you know
Mhm.
why? Because the IV fluids was under a 200 or 2000. So I didn't even add that one in.
What do you mean? Oh, it's not under the 2100. It's in a separate. It doesn't give you a time. It's just saying that it's running at 50 miles an hour times 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's where I didn't add it in it.
So that would be 200 there. And then your medications would be 580.
Mm-hmm.
So let's add all that together.
Okay, 2240.
Yeah, they should be able to. And will they tell you when it's delivered? So start when discharge pending home office arrival. And also if you need a ride. Yeah. How big's your car? Okay, so what a ride.
Okay, what'd you get?
2,040.
Everybody got 2240?
No, I got 2040.
I got
2040.
Yeah, I got
2040.
2040.
I didn't
So
get
I'm going
2040.
back through it
20,
again. I
2040.
got 2040.
2040.
Because we have 240, what is that, 4 times? Yeah, so, and then plus the 300, 200, 580 is 20,
Yeah, I got 2040.
40. Yeah, because the 240 times 4 is 960.
So everybody was able to get to the 2040?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's look at our output.
Yeah, they'll come once he gets to the call to the that little one.
Yeah, the answer to your output is right, 1750.
Okay, and then really on a higher level question here, I would ask you if this was a positive or a negative. All right, and in this case, it would be a positive because you had more intake than output. So your client's at risk here for fluid volume overload.
Want someone to go with you.
Okay.
You're scared to go by yourself. That's the risk.
Guys, if you have noise in the background, could you please put yourself on mute because I'm recording and it does interfere with the recording? Thank you.
What did you say about the intake and output? I missed that.
Which part?
The last part.
So I was saying that if you have more intake than output, it's a positive. Because
Oh,
that's
okay.
fluid volume overload. All right, your patient's retaining fluid. These should be equal. So the
Yeah.
reason why we do this is to see if your patient is retaining fluid or if they're at risk for dehydration. So if I asked you if this was a positive or negative net, it would be a positive because you have more intake than output.
Okay.
Which means your patient's at risk for fluid volume overload. All right, let's look at number 9. All right, so for this one, you had to calculate the completion time. All right, so in order to do that, you need the total volume that you started with. So it's going to be 550, right? Because your bag infiltrated. So what you started with was 550 at a rate of 50 an hour. So you had to take the 550 divided by the 50. And then you started it back up at 05:30 a.m., right? Because military time, that's how you write that. So 550 divided by 50 is what?
11.
So it ran for 11 hours. So then you had to add 11 hours to the 5:30. We already know that that would have been 12 hours. It would have been 5:30 p.m. So we can take away an hour. It should be 4:30, which would be 16:30 expressed in military time. Are we good with that one? Hello?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Is everybody good with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the next one. So what are we calculating here?
Hello.
240 divided by 80.
We're calculating mLs per hour, yes. So 240 divided by 80, but you have your 80 is in what?
Minutes.
Minutes, and you're calculating mLs per hour. So that means you're gonna have to do some sort of conversion here.
180.
That's how you convert it. If this is in minutes, you have to convert it to hours. What'd you get?
180.
$180. Anybody have an issue with that one? If your
Miss
time's
Sue,
in
can you-
hours, you leave it in hours, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sue, can you just go back up to number 9 real quick? I just want to write that one down because I want to do that one by myself. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you can go on to the next one.
All right, do number 11 by yourself then. If you guys didn't, can you just sign into the chat for me? So I can give you guys credit for the tutoring today. All right. We still working?
No, I got
did.
it. I got it.
All right, so we should have 50 for the first one and 200 for
And
the second one.
200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Great.
Can you go over that, please?
Sure. All right, so first we have a main IV and it's 650 mLs going over 13 hours. And then we have our second IV, which is 150 mLs over 45 minutes. That's our piggyback. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to take our 650 and just divide it by 13. We're looking for mLs per hour. This is our mLs. This is our time. So 650 divided by 13.
50.
50.
50 mLs. Okay, the second one was 150 mLs. And it was going over 45 minutes. And remember I said because we're doing mLs per hour, you have to convert your 45 minutes. The easiest way is to multiply your answer here times 60. That automatically converts it.
Okay.
For a total of 200. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, just to show you the proof that that is actually true, if you took 45 minutes and you divided it by 60, you should get 0.75.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you took 150, which is your total volume, and divided it by that 0.75, because now you've converted that into an hour. It's 0.75 of an hour. You'll still get 200. But this just saves you a step. In a sense. Okay? Because you can do it all right here in this little thing. Otherwise, you have to do this math here, convert what it is, and then take your hourly rate over that. All right?
Yes.
All right, this one is reconstitution. Okay, so whenever you do a reconstitution, whatever your final concentration is, whatever your yield is, whatever you're left with on hand, that is your available supply. Okay, so you have your doctor's order here, which is what? What is
1
your order?
million.
1
1
million
million.
units, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do
Yeah.
you have on hand?
5,000.
5 million.
5 million units, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
5 million. I
So
can't
it's
see
just
it.
going to be 1
Yeah.
million divided by 5 million. And you can get rid of all the zeros because it's an equal amount.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make it a little bigger? We can't see it well.
There you go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here you have a total concentration or a final concentration of 5 million units per ml. Okay, so this is your supply on hand right here. It might say final concentration, it might say yield, it might say your ending supply on hand. So now you can just get rid of all these little zeros, right? And it's just 1 divided by 5 times 1.
Yeah, what's the spot number?
0.2.
0.2.
Mm-hmm.
Zero 0.2. All right, that rationale, don't look at that because that's not for that question. I don't know what it is. The answer's right. That's called 4 o'clock in the morning doing 7,000 math tests. All right, look at the next one. the same type of question. See if you can do it on your own. What'd you get?
7.
7?
Good.
7,
Right.
7.
All right, this is a weight based, okay? So it's asking you how much will you administer per dose. So what would be the formula for this?
You don't have
So
to
let's
convert
see.
because it's already converted. So
No,
how I
what's
do
the
it is
formula?
oh
Milligrams over, I don't know.
Times.
Desired over half.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't have the desired dose because it's a weight based. So you have to calculate the desired dose using the weight. So your desired dose is going to be your patient's weight, which is 98 kilograms, times your 50. That's your
Mm-hmm.
desired dose. If it was in pounds, you would have to convert it first. So your desired dose is what?
4,900.
4,900.
4,900 milligrams. Okay. And your order dose, I mean, what you have on hand is what?
250.
250 per 3 ml.
Mm.
Was it milligrams or was it units? I don't even remember.
Milligrams.
Go back and look. It was milligrams.
it was milligrams. Yeah, milligrams.
So that's what it should be here, milligrams. So then the milligrams are going to be crossing out and you're left up with milliliters per hour, okay? It was 3 mLs here though, right?
Yes.
So now you're just doing math. So I got 58.8. Now you have to read the rest of the question. What did it tell you to do? Okay.
Round to the nearest 10.
Okay, so if it's the nearest 10th, it's going to be here. Now, can you set an IV pump for the nearest 100th? Can you?
What,
Of course you
I
can.
just
You can
got
set an IV
yeah,
pump to
I
the
just got
nearest
the
100 and the nearest 10th. If you're doing critical care, you can't give some of those drugs, okay? And you can't be rounding up to the whole number because you're going to overdose somebody or make them toxic. So we're trying to get you to read and understand how these devices work as well as understand the math, because it's very important that you understand both, especially if you're planning on going to a hospital.
It's like 4,900 over 250 times 3 doesn't give you 58.8.
Okay, what's it give you?
It was 25.3.
4,900 divided by 250
Mhm.
times
3.
3. I got 58.8.
Right.
Somebody else
Yeah.
get something different besides Ernest?
No, I
Mhm.
got
I got
58.8.
58.8.
Okay, double check
But-
your math.
But I don't do mine how you did yours. But
I don't do mine like that either.
Listen, you can do the math any way you want. I don't really care. This is my keep it simple, stupid, shortcut math. This is how I do it. But
I like your way though. I like.
at the end of the day, if you get the problem right, that's what matters. Not how you do the math, because what clicks for you, like my brain is like a squirrel, so I can't do dimensional analysis.
Neither can I. I hate
I
it.
have to keep it very short and to the point, or I'll get hung up in the question somewhere. Plus, with dimensional analysis, I never seem to set it up right.
Same, Mrs. Booch. I'm the same.
But I'm good with this. So if you need
I do. You
dimensional
know what I do, Miss
analysis,
Loach?
Miss Z
I
is
do-
your girl. And
Yeah.
registerednurse.com does it all day.
I do 98 times 5 divided by 250 times 3.
I mean, whatever works. Okay?
And I got that answer. So
I mean, I don't work my math out on the board like this. I just do everything in the calculator. I don't even write it down. Okay?
Right,
But for
that's
you
what I do.
guys, I'm
Mhm.
doing it this way so you can see the steps.
Mm-hmm.
I could do any one of these questions in 45 seconds. The danger
Okay.
with that and not writing down the steps is that you can miss something or make a mistake, especially under the stress of a test if you're in a
Yeah.
hurry. So I would say get used to writing the steps down. Whatever your steps are, write them down when you're doing the questions, just so you can go back and look at your board or your paper to make sure you did all the right steps and double check yourself. I'm giving you plenty of time in the math test now that you should be able to do that. You see, this is what I would have did right there, where that rationale is. I would have just put that in my calculator, just like that. All right, let's look at the next one. See if you guys can calculate it on your own. Again, this is asking you about how much you're going to administer, so you need to start here. Because that tells you how to set the problem up.
Okay.
So what kind of formula is this?
A weight-based, desired over half.
Desired over have, right. And when you're doing weight-based, okay, when you do that 190 divided by the 2.2, because that's where I start,
Mm-hmm.
leave everything in the calculator. Do not change, do not round. Leave all your numbers in the calculator through the entire problem. So that 86.36, that whole long number, you're going to multiply that whole thing times your 2.5.
All right.
Yes. I like the way you taught us this that day in class, Miss Loach. The way you set it up.
It was like
I'm
this,
going to
Jenna.
put it on the board for you in a
Yep.
second. I just want you to see. So what'd you get for an answer here?
108.
I got 13 when you ran through the
108.
whole
I
number.
got 216.
But
I
then
got
you gotta
108
divide it by
micrograms.
2.
Right, because
divided
this
by
is
two,
a
right.
daily dose.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
should
the
give you
daily dose, yeah.
107.9, which
Yes,
rounds up
yes,
to
yes.
108.
And then you
So
round it to
108?
108. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this one actually wasn't a desired over have. This one was just a desired dose.
Mhm.
But you had to go that direction in order to calculate still, because you still had to calculate your desired dose no matter what. All right, that was it for the med surg ones. Let's look at the Jerry ones. They're going to be very similar questions.
No amount of gift.
All right. Let me know when you can sit.
I see it.
Okay, do the first one on your own. Let me know what you get.
So 33.
33. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
33.
If you don't, everybody doesn't get the answer, stop me and I'll work it out on the board. All right, here's your next one.
I got 10.
Is it 10?
All right, good. 10. All right, now let's look at this one. Okay. This one says, how many mLs per hour will the IV pump be set to deliver the correct dose? Now, if you notice, this one gives you a few pieces of information in here. It gives you your desired dose, right? And it gives you what you have on hand. So you can just do desired over half for this. So we have a desired dose of 2,900 per hour. And on hand, we have 5,800 in 100.
So it'll be 50?
Well, I got to do the math here. I'm going to do it on the board just so everybody sees it.
Yeah, I got 50.
This is units per hour, remember. This is the part I really want everybody to see so they understand how we get to that. And then it's times your 100 ml. Okay, so this is going to cross out and you'll be left with mLs per hour. So the math here was the 29 divided by the 58 times 100. And the answer was 50 mLs per hour. Okay? Now this one's a little bit trickier. Okay? This is asking how many units per hour is the patient receiving. Okay, so you have a couple givens here. You know that you have 5,000 units per 100 ml, and you know that the pump is running at 48 mLs an hour. So for this one, you have to take the 5,000 and divide it by the 100. so you can determine how many units is in each ml. Okay,
Then
so
you
that's the
times it
first
by
step.
48.
So take the 5,000 per 100 and write that down. And then your 48 mLs an hour. All right, and then we'll go to the board. Okay, we'll do 5,000 divided by 100 equals 50 units per ml. And then we're going to multiply that times the number of mLs it's running at, which was
48.
Thank you. And that's 2,400 units.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, this one was checking you on your rounding skills because this is just what? What kind of question? What kind of formula?
Desired rev.
Desired over have. So this one was checking you to see if you were reading and paying attention.
3.75.
Okay, and it said rounded to the nearest 100. So is that to the nearest 100?
Yes, it is.
Good. Any questions on that one? Okay, next one is insulin. All right, so again, this says the nurse sets the infusion pump at how many milliliters per hour to deliver 15 units per hour. When it says that, if you're setting the pump to deliver 15 units per hour, you're delivering a, what are you delivering here? A dose, right?
Oh, right, what?
What's the desired dose?
Is it 15?
What's your desired dose? And really, you don't even need a calculator to do this, but I would suggest that you do it that way in case it doesn't work out the way. But you have 50 units per 50 mLs. That means you have how many units per ml?
1 unit per ml?
Right. So if you're delivering 15 units per hour, you're going to deliver 15 mLs per hour, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just do the math because this is desired over half. So your desired dose is 15 units per hour, and you have 50 and 50. Okay, units crosses out, you're left out with mLs per hour. 15 divided by 50 times 50 is going to be 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looked like a really hard question, but it's a really simple question. If you know what the question's asking you, that's the most important key. And so that's why I always start down here, because what is the question asking me? What do I need to do to set this up? Also, look in the problem. What's in that problem? So I know within that problem, I have a desired dose and I have a supply on hand. I can see all that in the problem. So before you freak out about the problem, look, what's in there? What you're given? What do you have available? You guys need me to go over another INO, or are we good with that?
We're good with that. Well, I'm good with that.
Okay, main thing is just remembering about the ice. If you see the ice, okay, I think MedSurg got ice. Jerry didn't. That was just because I was trying to give different questions. All right, but just make sure if you see something that says continuously, or if it's over several hours, like 1600 and 1900, that you're accounting for those hours, okay? All right, this one here was just desired over have, but what did you have to do here?
Convert.
Right, convert your micrograms to milligrams. So let's do it.
1.2.
Excuse me.
Again, I always have this in my brain. I know if I'm going to the left, just the love of my life, I gotta divide. I'm going to the right, everything's peachy, I'm acting like a rabbit, and I'm multiplying. Okay, so I like to move decimals too, because that's easy for me. If I'm going to the left, I'm gonna move 3 decimals, 1, 2, 3, and I still got the 1.2, right? This changes over to milligrams. I have 1.2 milligrams, all right? Or if you divide it by 1,000. You don't want to use the decimal, then convert to bottom. It doesn't matter. In real life, you can't convert what you have on hand. You can only convert the order, because you can't tell your medication and magically turn into micrograms. All right. So you should have got 1.2 divided by 18 times 3 was 0.2. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Yes.
0.2.
Mhm.
All right. See, on this one, I converted the other way. All right. This one I had to fix. I don't know which test whoever got, but somehow on my brain, on the original question, I put 36, 6,000 divided by 36. I don't know where I got that from, but it should have been 72 hours because it was over a 3-day period, okay? But we did a couple of these, so you guys are good with these ones for ml per hour?
Can you show us the problem, please?
Sorry. I fixed it on the test, but I don't know if everybody, some people may have gotten the first question, which I wasn't correct. And on the first one, it came out to some ridiculous, crazy answer, but this is correct the way it's calculated here. Everybody's good with these ones, mLs per hour? You notice that the only thing in here is what the physicians prescribe. There's nothing on hand here. So all you can do here is your mLs over your time, okay? There's nothing else that you could actually do with this question because there's not enough information to do it. All right, now what other questions do you guys have questions about? Anything else you want me to go over?
Can you do a reconstitution again, Miss Sue?
Okay. How about number 10? Is everybody good with that one? I'll come back to the reconstitutions in a second. Everybody knows how to calculate this? Number 10?
Yes.
No
Yes.
questions here, right?
No. One.
So what is it?
The 113?
Okay. Everybody got 113?
Yes.
Here's a reconstitution here. You want me to do it or you want to try to work it out?
No, you
Or you
can
want to
do
try
it.
to work it out first,
Go
and
ahead.
then if you don't get it, I'll do it.
Okay.
Two.
So as soon as you read this question, you should be reading how many milliliters will you administer. So that tells you what is the formula.
Desired overhead.
Desired overhead.
Right. If you're administering something, it's a dose. So it's desired over half. Now, what's the problem with your desired dose versus what you have on hand?
You have to convert the mcg to mg.
Okay.
So that would give you 1,000 divided by 1. And then 1 divided by 5, 0.5 is 2. 0. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody good with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with the reconstitution? Here's another one. Reconstitution. What'd you get?
15.
15.
15. All right, this is another weight-based one. See if you can do it on your own.
One 68.2.
Correct. Everybody was able to get to there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody have any issue getting to there? Okay. Good job. Now let's do number 14.
Is it 27.3?
I'm doing the math now.
But that's what I got too.
Yeah, 27.3.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got, 27.3.
Okay.
I still always double check myself because I do a lot of these late at night. So it's just always good to double check yourself because I'm human. I can make mistakes. But I like it when you guys find my mistakes because that tells me that you're learning. Oh my God, you gave us this one? Really, this one isn't any different, you know. A couple more steps here. So let's go through the process, okay? So again, this is asking you what would deliver the correct dose. So it tells you it's what? What's the formula?
Desired wrath.
Desired over have, okay? And it gives you what you have on hand. So write that down first. You have 200 milligrams in 250 mLs, okay? It also gives you the weight. So you're going to write that down, 205 pounds. I want you to write all this down because I'm going to another screen. And then it gives you the order dose, which is 5 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I start with the weight. But you can go ahead and put here what you have on hand. That is going to help you also. So put that here, 200 milligrams per 250 ml. And we're trying to get to mLs per hour, okay? The reason why I put that down there is so you can kind of see where you're sitting at, where you need to get to, okay? So the weight is 205. Leave everything to the calculator. Start with the weight, 205 divided by 2.2. Do not clear that calculator. So 205 divided by 2.2 gives us 93.18. And I'm just going to put this here because that number is infinity, but I'm leaving the entire number in my calculator. I'm just not writing it all on the screen. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply that times my ordered dose, which is 5 micrograms per minute. Sorry, my screen's moving on me. And that gives me 465.90. Okay, again, I'm putting a line there for infinity micrograms per minute. Okay, I have to get to mLs per hour.
And how you taking your other pills home for nighttime?
Excuse me.
Can we put them in here?
Excuse me. Can you please put yourself on mute? All right, so now we have 465.90 micrograms per minute. We have to get to milligrams per hour. Okay, so next step is take your 465.90, that whole number, and you're going to divide that by 1,000. And that's going to make it milligrams. So now we have 0.46 59. I'm going to put, but again, I'm leaving the whole number in my calculator. This is all I'm writing up there. And that is now milligrams per minute, okay? Next step is to convert it into an hourly rate. So now we're going to multiply both sides by 60. If we multiply this by 60, that gives us an hour. We're going to multiply this by 60. So that whole number that's in your calculator now, that 0.46590909009, you're going to multiply by 60. And that should give you 27.95. Okay. Again, leaving that whole number in the thing. And now this is milligrams per hour. Okay. So now our milligrams crosses out and we'll be left with mLs per hour here. So now you just got to take that 27.95, whatever it is, divided by what you have on hand. So divided by 200 and then times your 250. That should give you 34.95 4. Everybody there?
Yes.
Now let's go back to our question. And it's telling us to round it into a whole number. So what would be our whole number then?
35.
35. Okay, you need to do another one like that? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, well, for me.
Anybody
No,
need
for
to
me.
do another one like this? Okay, any other questions anybody needs me to go over?
Yeah, for me, it was the one with the day. Remember, because I'm used to the ones with the minute, the hour. So I just wanted to do one more with the day. Because I didn't see that day at the end. Remember that one where it was like something kg to the day?
Okay, hold on a second.
Because I'm used to doing just the minute ones and the
Okay, let's look at number 14. All right, so it's asking you how many milligrams is the patient receiving per day? And they're ordered 3 milligrams per kilogram per day. They weigh 84 pounds. So how many milligrams are they receiving per day? What'd you get?
Is it 598?
115.
Oh, I thought you had to do all for the whole total the 3 times a day. They just want to know what the one dose was. I did get 115, but then I added the other 2 doses.
But it didn't ask you to do that.
It says how many milligrams is the patient receiving per day. If they're getting
Right.
3 doses per
And
day.
if you have an order for 3 milligrams per kilogram per day, then all you have to do is what? Because your dose is
Oh, I didn't
already
read the
written
day
for a
part.
day.
That's the part I messed up on. I see it now.
Again, it just comes down to like really reading the question and understanding what it's asking you. So you don't go above or beyond that.
So
And
that's
that
it.
just takes
So it's no
practice,
other
practice,
steps.
practice, practice. I'm sorry?
So it was no other steps. Just that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The other one was a weight-based dose. So,
Yeah, that.
all right, let's see who can do this one.
Mm, 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 mm. Yes.
Number 15, you're done.
16.5. I don't know.
Did you do all the steps?
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. Hold on.
Round to the nearest 10th place.
1.7,
1.7.
1.7.
Hey, 1.7, good.
Yeah, I didn't see that 1,000 all that older. See, we gotta read.
Oh.
You do have to read. These are critical thinking questions. Okay, so just make sure you read them carefully. I try to give you guys more time so that you have time to read them. All right, any other questions you're not sure about?
I just wanted to know, could we get longer than 30 minutes?
You don't get 30 minutes now. This test was 60 minutes, wasn't it? Or 50 minutes?
No, the practice question was 30 minutes that we
What?
took on. Yeah, it was only 30 minutes and one we took on Monday. And I was like,
Really?
30 minutes? Yeah, it was 30 minutes. And I'm slow on that. So I'm like, wait. Yeah, I think it might have been a mistake, but it was only 30 minutes.
Okay, because you should be getting between 50 and 60 minutes, depending on how many questions I give you and what's on the exam.
Yeah, it was the practice quiz that we did was only 30. Ours was only 30 minutes.
All right. So